Yo, it's JSF, and I know what you're thinking by the title of this video. This is going to be the most obvious and on-the-nose video ever. We all know what the problem with Sub-Zero is. He's 50-50 machine, he's annoying as fuck. Right? Into the video. Y'all stay safe, subscribe for more content, peace. I'm kidding. There's actually a lot more to it than that, which makes this really interesting, right? And that's why I have Sindel here, right? Because Sub-Zero is not the only 50-50 character in the game, right? Sindel's whole playstyle is damn near revolves around 50-50s. She has an overhead starter, she has a low starter, or I should say mix-ups. Some are 50-50, some are not, right? But she has an overhead starter, she has a low starter, she has mid strings that go into lows. She has a low fireball if you equip it. She can have an overhead hair flip if you equip it. Not to mention this string can go into a high. It can just go into an overhead naturally, right? And then you can make it go into a low. If you EX it, it'll be safe on block. You can go for the risky overhead. It's just mix city from mid screen, right? If Sindel's like approaching you, she can just do that. And you have to respect her scream, because if you don't, you get killed, right? So if she's around this range, you gotta respect her. And you have to preemptively block low, and if you don't, because you can't react to this, right? It's 13 frames. And as you're preemptively blocking low, you get clipped by the overhead, right? And this video is not about Sindel. This is just one example, right? Like, you can say Sonya's a 50-50 character, right? There are other characters like Gears when he had his 1-1-1 string into his 1-1 sand trap, right? And now it's to the point where you can fuzzy it, but it's not reliable. Like, especially online, it's really not reliable. It's really hard to do. So he can still mix you 50-50 you as well, and he can have a crush and blow on the overhead or the low at the same time, right? So the point is, even though we know Sub-Zero is a 50-50 character, that obviously isn't the big issue with him, because he's not the only 50-50 character, right? You don't hear a bunch of community outcry about Sindel. You don't really hear it about Gears anymore. You don't really hear it about Sonya at all. Nobody really cares about her. There are other characters with minor 50-50s, but my point is there's more to it with Sub-Zero. So yeah, I want to talk about this 50-50 a little bit and why it is a 50-50, because again, like I said, Sindel can mix you mid-screen, but it's not the same thing. It's not a 50-50. But with Sub-Zero, it is. Now, one of the first big issues with Sub-Zero is that he commands the neutral, right? He has slide, right? And if you're not aware of how far slide goes, that's how far slide goes. It's 11 frames. It's a low. You cannot react to it. It also has really fast travel speed, which is not something people talk about a lot. But with like Melina's ball roll, right? It's 13 frame mid, but it goes low. It can go under some projectiles, etc. But it has a really slow travel speed, right? Sub-Zero's slide, it has one of the fastest travel speeds of any of these fuck neutral moves. It's super duper fast. So you have to respect his slide, or else you're gonna get hit by his slide, right? And we all know what happens if you don't respect the slide. You take 30%, right? And you know what I mean? Not to mention his slide is a low, so it adds to his mix-up, right? You know what I mean? It adds to that, right? Another thing that's really annoying, or another reason Sub-Zero is as bad as he is, he has a projectile, right? Like a regular standard projectile, right? We're not even gonna get into any other projectile, just his regular ice ball, right? It puts you in a capture state. Now think about this. Just think of this one point only. How many other characters that have what you would call 50-50s or really good mix-ups put you in a capture state? And then if you find any, how many of them put you in a capture state grounded? And then if you can think of any other characters, how many can put you in a grounded capture state from full screen? And if you think of any, other characters, how many can put you in a grounded capture state from full screen, hit confirm it, and still continue to combo, or go for a mix-up, right? So it's a lot. There's layers to this shit, right? There's definitely layers to this shit. And what moves do I have in this variation? Oh my god, I have. So another thing is So, like I said, his slide commands the neutral, right? And if you don't want to be like crouch blocking or worried about the slide all the time, you might want to jump or something, right? You might see ice ball, you might want to jump, etc. Well, now he has EX ice ball, right? Which is not only much faster in terms of travel speed, it's faster in startup than regular ice ball, right? Much faster, as you can see. It also travels faster. It's a mid, so you can't just duck his ice balls all day, right? You can't just duck and then block slide on reaction, or try it at least. You can't even do that because you'll get hit by this mid ice ball unless you try to block that on reaction. And yeah, you still get, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously that doesn't combo, but you still get that whole situation. And basically, with this move, Sub-Zero doesn't have to play any neutral whatsoever. He doesn't have to. This move also eats other projectiles, right? And we all know this move by now. He's been in the game for 2 years. We know what he's doing. But I'm just saying, like, when you put all these tools together, you know what I mean? It paints a picture, right? It stops you from being able to zone him. Like say I'm a Frost player or something, I put up a shield, I try to zone, he shoots an ice ball, breaks his shield, then he immediately EX ice ball. As I'm trying to get another projectile, even if we trade, he can probably still get a slide in. Even if he gets hit, right? Because he just, you know, he puts you in that much hit stun. Like the amount of, like, look how long you're in this ice for. It's a very, look at the hit advantage, watch. Just look at my hit advantage at the bottom of the screen. 104 frames, right? Like, you're in that, it's damn near 2 seconds you're in ice. Like, it's crazy, right? And then what's the other move I have in this variation? Creeping ice, right? Creeping ice. And this move is interesting. It varies with matchup to matchup. As you can see, it's -10 with a little bit of pushback. Fairly safe. You can also EX it to make it completely safe. Now, certain characters can jump out of this, and, you know, certain specific instances you can get out of it, or you can punish it, but it's more or less safe. It's a lot safer than the slide, right? And it's also another low special move. Granted, it doesn't do as much damage, right? Doesn't do as much damage. You know, 11%, 6%, not a big deal. But the point of the move is safety. Now you can reliably do this. So now the overhead's more, you know what I'm saying? You might be more trigger happy with the overhead because, you know, if nothing else, you know, I'll do some chip. Like, look at this. If nothing else, I did some chip, right? And I'm safe, right? So you get that option. It makes the overhead a little more something you have to worry about because, oh yeah, it's creeping ice. He's probably going to do this, right? Instead of one, because the low is safe, right? That's the other thing that makes this interesting, right? Like, if we were to go to Sindel, right? Let me take off flaws, take off flaws for a second, right? -20, -15. Hold on. -15. What's the end to this string? 4? No. I don't know the end of this string. Hold on, give me 1 second. Oh, up one. Oh, up to that, right? -8, right? But as a flawless gap, and now it's -13. So when Sindel commits to this overhead, she has to do something unsafe, or she has to cancel it, right? Like -5, right? So she has to cancel it and spend defensive meter to be safe. If she does the low, it's just one button, right? The low is just one button, -17, right? I'm gonna do it as far back as I can, -17. Now, depending on the character you're playing, you can punish that or you can't punish that. Like, I don't think a character like Spawn can punish this at all. -17 from here, I don't think he stands a chance trying to punish that. But a character like Sub-Zero, oh, good old Subby, man. Good old Subby. As y'all know, he's reversal punishing that from any range, right? Any range. Just another thing. So if Sindel does any of that 50-50 shit, it's unsafe, right? Unless it's like that, right? Alright, he's still on reversal, my bad. Like, this is safe, sure. You know what I mean? But any other option, like, that's unsafe. That's unsafe. Hold up. That's a high. So there's always some element of risk to it with Sindel. With Sub-Zero, they got creep and ice. Not much risk to that. The low is literally safe and hit confirmable. 13 frames, -6. You can end it in that and be -5. You can literally backdash and try to whip punish somebody for trying to punish you or trying to take the turn back. He has more mind games to it. Not to mention, he has a throw crushing blow. So even if you're looking out for the low and the overhead, you're doing great blocking it, he can grab you. You're not encouraged to want to take the throw because if you try to take the throw, take the wrong way, well, yeah, you take 30%. Unbreakable, right? So, you know, there's always, that's why I said, like, even if you can react to 19 frames, like I always say, human reaction time is somewhere around 19. Average human reaction time is somewhere around 19, 20, 21 frames. That's average, right? My best reaction time on my best day is 18, 17 frames on my best moments ever. My regular reaction time is around 19 frames. So can I react to this like in real life, offline, realistically? Sure. But it's not the only thing to worry about, right? There's the grab, there's the low. Well, I can low and react to the overhead, but then I get grabbed, right? Or I get staggered, right? You know what I mean? Sub-Zero also has some mid-range buttons that aren't terrible. He's also got back two, which makes it hard to jump in on him. He is just really frustrating to fight. And the 50-50 is just the easy thing to be upset about. Like, honestly, they could tweak this character. His 50-50 should go. Let me say that. They should get rid of it. But if they didn't, they could still make this character less obnoxious. Like, make other things less bad, right? Maybe not have so much hit stun on the ice ball, right? Maybe not make slide 11 frames or make it not go as far as it does, as fast as it does, right? And even if I switch, right? The other thing that you gotta mention is with EX Ice Ball, which I had in the last variation, and with Rising Ice in this variation, you can combo off the overhead, right? It's not something you can always do, but if you have certain moves, you can combo off the overhead, obviously the lowest hit confirmable to ice ball, etc. Right? So he's getting, if he 50-50s you correctly, if he 50-50s you and guesses right, he gets a combo. Now the overhead option is unsafe, but that's what this is for. If you don't think it's gonna hit, do creeping ice. If you believe it's gonna hit, boom, 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 boom. If you believe it's gonna punish, KB. Like, not only is this an overhead, a 50-50 mix-up tool that you have to respect in this range because you can get slid on, don't get it fucked up. You can get ice balled, like, you know what I'm saying? You can get, like, you have to respect him in this range. He's also got some of the best dashing and walks. Like, his dash speed is really good. You know what I mean? He can just traverse the screen really, 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 really well. And that's the thing, man. If he had like this 50-50s, but he was like super slow and it was hard for him to get in, like he had to work his way in or commit to an unsafe slide, like then it would be one thing, but it's like, nah, he can get in fairly easily. Like if you can wave dash, I'm terrible at it, but if you can wave dash, like, you know what I'm saying? You can get in really easily with Sub-Zero. It's really no effort. Then you can get moves like this, which really help you in the neutral a lot. Cause then like you can pester people, right? You can throw this out, pester people, and then when they try to zone back or something, throw out ice ball. And if you hit them, like I said, if you hit them with an ice ball from anywhere, oh, you're in, free. You're in for free. You're in. No meter necessary, nothing. You're in. You're in. And like I said, you don't even have to go for a combo once you're in. Like, put it this way. I know y'all seen this trick before. Wait. I know y'all seen this trick before. And you just go for the reset, right? Or you see this trick, right? Right? And this is the thing. All of this is unbreakable, right? Because it puts you in a grounded capture state with a shit ton of hit stun. So you have all day. Like, you should, like, when Scorpion uses his spear, he has to EX it to put you in a capture state. And even if he EX spears, he doesn't have enough time to do a full ass jump in on you and do like he doesn't have all of that. He only gets that off a crushing blow, and the timing still is not as generous as Sub-Zero's ice ball, right? So I know we all hate Sub-Zero's mix-ups, we hate his 50-50s and all that kind of stuff, but there's just so much more to the character. I think that makes him a problem. And since online is all we have, I know offline is different, right? It's a little bit easier to deal with offline, but there ain't no offline. It don't exist right now. We talking about online. This is terrible. And this is what, like, this is why I say it's much more than just the 50-50s. It's everything else that sets up the 50-50s. It's the fact that you have to respect the slide. You have to give him a chance. This is the fucked up part right here. This is the part you got to understand. You have to give him a chance to 50-50. That's what makes this character a problem. It isn't just the fact that he has the mix, right? Like, there are other characters with mix-ups. There are other characters with 50-50s that can lead to high damage. But with Sub-Zero, you literally have to give him a chance to... He will get a chance to mix you every single time you play him. You're gonna have to deal with it 100% of the time. Like, the only way you could not deal with it is if maybe you play a character like Sub-Zero who can stay in the air and stay zoning him out, and, you know, like, something like that, right? Make the right reads on stuff like that. But then in that situation, he would pick a EX Ice Ball and hit you out of the sky, right? You're gonna eventually have to deal with either him getting close to you or him freezing you. Like, one or the other is gonna happen. And that's the sad part. That's what makes this character so fucked up, like I said. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all did, please subscribe. Helps me out a ton. Costs you nothing. Let me know what y'all think. Is there more to Sub-Zero? I know there's other moves I could have gone over, like the ice trap. That move as well, because it kind of forces the opponent to come to him, right? The ice trap does that shit too. But this video is already too long, so I don't want to go into too much more. But yeah, basically this character's fucked up for a lot of reasons. And I think a lot of times we look at the most obnoxious thing and say, no, this is fucked up, this is fucked up. But they go, well, take a step back. There's a lot more around it. Like, if Sub-Zero had his 50-50s, but he didn't have Ice Ball, I guarantee he wouldn't be as bad. Or if he didn't have Slide and Ice Ball, he would. If he had his exact same 50-50, right, but he didn't have, like, Ice Ball to freeze you, and he didn't have Slide. Like, it only worked as a launcher up close. He couldn't do it from full screen. And he didn't have Slide. I guarantee you none of us would really complain about him. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So anyway, y'all stay safe. Y'all have a good one. I'm going to need your body here. JSF, I'm gone. Peace.